What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. This is Modern Mama Gigi. Thank you so much for tuning in. We talk about mom stuff here, all things pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. As we go through this adventure together, I'm very excited to jump in today. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we're talking about the top 10 postpartum essentials, what I think are must-haves, and what's probably overrated. This list is in no particular order. For full context, I am a first-time mom. I just gave birth to my son a month ago, and I learned a lot of this along the way. I'm hoping to be able to share the information so that other first-time moms can use it as well. One of the first products that I heard the most from by far was the Frida Perineum bottle, which has an angle at the end. I cannot recommend this product more. It is absolutely fantastic after birth, and the hospital does give you another bottle that is not angled. I actually used both of them, one in the shower, the one the hospital gave me, and then the other one when I was going to the bathroom, and I had a great experience. One of the other ones that I heard a lot of was getting your own gown. I saw a lot of different ads. I just ended up not getting one because to me it was a little bit too much money. A lot of the gowns were beautiful. I think that businesses that do that are fantastic. Making mothers feel pretty in any way is very important, especially postpartum and during the birthing process. But for me, it was just a little bit too much money, and I couldn't find a way that I could use it afterwards. So I ended up not getting one. I used the regular gown at the hospital. It worked great. I felt very secure that the nurses knew how to unclothe me when needed. I had no problems during my delivery, but if I had had a problem, it made me feel a lot better knowing that the nurses knew how to get to certain parts of my body really quickly. One of the other things I heard a lot of was the bathrobe. I think they sell at Target. They also sell a different version at Walmart. I'm sure Amazon has one. I still use my bathrobe, so full context, I did end up buying one. It's that lightweight, black, long sleeve, short bathrobe. It had a really nice flowy feel to it, and I wore it basically the entire time that I was in the hospital after delivery. It was very comfortable, and I still wear it to this day when I'm getting out of the shower. Sometimes when you're a first-time mom, it's a little hard to get dressed, so I really like to wear it even still, and it's very easy for breastfeeding. Another one that I saw a lot of online was the Target matching black pajamas, which just looked very cute. I did end up succumbing to that and I bought them. I, however, bought the long pants version that I would not recommend because typically after birth you're very overheated, and I ended up not wearing the pants at all. I don't know if you really need to go buy an extra pair of pajamas that match. Now, if you want to do a cute photo shoot inside your room, of course you should absolutely do that, but to me that was not a must-have. One must-have that I cannot recommend more are the Witch Hazel pads by Tux. I would not recommend bringing those to the hospital, which I must admit I got a little confused about. Our hospital gave us a supply that lasted the entire time while I stayed in the hospital for the few days after, so I did not need to bring them. However, they were so helpful after when I was at home. I used them for 2.5 weeks straight. They have helped me heal so much. They're also very cooling. I do recommend buying some of them, but do not bring them to the hospital. One thing that I think personally was overrated was the Frida underwear that was sold to me in ads all over right before I went to the hospital. They ended up being pretty expensive in my opinion, and the hospital gives you your own disposable underwear, which are very loose feeling. In my opinion, I really didn't want anything that was super tight, which is kind of what the underwear are like. They're advertised as making you feel more secure, but for me, I just really didn't want anything touching me at all. You're already wearing pretty heavy pads, so all of your bleeding is being caught by those. I didn't think it was very necessary to buy these extra disposable underwear. I ended up not wearing my own underwear. Like I said, I wore the ones that the hospital gave me and they worked fine. I was able to ask for extra ones, so I never ran out of them. One extra thing that I thought was super helpful in terms of wearing was the adult diapers that I ended up buying, and I did bring some to the hospital and I do not regret it. They were so comfy. I put a pad inside them. They just made me feel really secure when I was sleeping. I think it's totally an extra thing. You can absolutely wear your own underwear. You can wear the disposable ones that the hospital gives you, but for me it was very, very convenient. Even though I didn't take them home and wear them, I felt super comfortable sleeping in them. It was super nice that I could just take them off and throw them away. One must-have that I cannot recommend more is the Perineum foam. That is made by Frida, and I used so much of it. The hospital will give you a version, so you do not need to bring any to the hospital. But when I got home, I had 2 extra bottles of that, and I loved being able to use that postpartum. I have continued to use that for the last 3.5 weeks, and it's helped me heal, I think, a lot faster. I went to my 2-week checkup and my doctor said that everything looks great. I'm sure there's some generic versions, but honestly, the Frida Mom one is the one that I got and it worked great. One thing that I'm kind of on the fence about are the instant ice packs, specifically the ones that are the Maxi pads. The reason why is they give those to you in the hospital, but after you give birth, the nurses want to keep track of how much you're bleeding. So it's hard to use those Maxi pad ice pads and also keep track of the bleeding in a pad. I found that it was a lot easier to use an external ice pack, which the hospital does have. You should ask for that immediately. And basically the first 48 hours, I had this ice pack on me the entire time. I think it single-handedly helped me reduce swelling, and it made it a lot better later when I went home. I did not have nearly as much need to use the pain medication that they gave me. I did not need to take the ibuprofen as much, and I by no means am someone that is like very pain tolerant. I think that the ice just helped a lot with the swelling. Ask the nurse for an external ice pack and then use the regular pads so that the nurse can still keep track of how much you're bleeding. It is a little uncomfortable, but it's not too bad. One must-have that is absolutely amazing is the Perineum Pain Relief Spray, which I got very confused about because there's a postpartum version and then there's a generic version. They're both from Dermoplast. The hospital gave me the normal version, which I thought was more for like aches and cuts and muscle relief, but apparently you can use that one as well. I went ahead and bought the postpartum version for my house. It seems like both of them work. So the postpartum version, if it's a little bit more expensive, probably not worth it. You can probably just get the normal one. However, that product was very important, I think, for my healing. I cannot recommend it more. It was so helpful, especially for the pain and a little bit of discomfort afterwards. And I continued to use it for a few weeks. I tapered off around the end of the 2nd week, but I think it is definitely a must-have. You don't need to bring it to the hospital, like I was saying. The hospital should give you that once you're done with your delivery, but you should have some at home just so that you can use it for the next few weeks. Those are my must-haves for postpartum and the things that I think probably are a little overrated. However, this is just my opinion. I think overall, all of these products are very helpful, and if they help you feel comforted, then you should absolutely get them. Postpartum care is very, very important. You've gone through a very big event, so any of these things I think will help in the long run in terms of healing and feeling a lot better. All of the items that I talked about today are going to be in the description down below, so go ahead and check those out if you'd like, and let me know what you think. I am just first-time mom, so comment down below anything that you think is absolutely essential and anything that's overrated in your opinion, so we can help other moms who are about to go on this journey as well. If you liked the content today, please hit the like and subscribe button, and if you want to get notifications when I post next, hit the bell button right here. Till next time, this is Modern Gigi. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.